When did having a difference of opinion turn into a threat instead of a conversation? Hey guys, do me a favor before we get started. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to share this out if you have a friend you think may like my content. I really do appreciate all the support I'm getting, guys. I see you. Now, all right, guys. So Ivory Rose Nose had another thought. There I go, thinking again, right? I got to stop doing that because I get myself into trouble doing it. But I was in a live last night. I'm going to give you a little story. I was in a live last night over on TikTok. Now, you've heard me say it before. TikTok is the insane asylum of all social media platforms. For real, seriously, it is. And you got different true crime niches over there on TikTok, right? You have different cases. So then you got true crime, and then you got the Rebecca Parks case. You have the Gypsy Rose case. And let me tell you, the Gypsy Rose case is the ward of all wards when it comes to the insane asylum. All right. But I have been all the little sub niches of true crime, all the different cases. But last night, I was watching a live, and this is going to come from the Gypsy Rose perspective, right? There were content creators up on a live, and they were talking with somebody from a different niche. Now, ultimately, this live was about trying to cancel a content creator that has moved over to the Gypsy Rose niche. Let me tell you, let me start by saying this. I am not about cancel culture, right? I don't think people should be canceled. However, people are concerned because this person is a threat. This person has become a threat to people on social media, people within the niche. And so when you start threatening people, you start becoming dangerous, then I think you need to be canceled. I think you need to get out of here. Here's your hat. What's your hurry, right? Go on, move on, stay away from those of us who want to have discussions. However, this is what this live was about. And one of these smaller, and I don't say that disrespectfully, just a smaller content creator goes up on this live. Now, I know this content creator. This content creator has been in my lives. We follow each other. Really sweet girl. Absolutely love her, right? But she goes onto this panel and she starts talking about how she feels threatened going on to panels now and having discussions about the case, about the Gypsy Rose case. Now, this isn't the first time I've heard this, guys. Nobody knows the truth about any of these cases, right? We have what we know to be facts. You can't dispute them. They're facts. The rest is all speculation. It's all opinion based, right? All of our opinions and speculations to support the facts. What do we think happened? There is no right or wrong when it comes to discussing true crime cases, giving your opinions. Everybody is entitled to opinion. There's no one creator who knows it all. You don't. There's no creator. You may have the facts, but you don't have the true story. There is no full story about the true crime cases, right? The majority of it is speculation. It's what we believe. And that is the joy of these conversations. Whatever happened to discussions? Whatever happened to civilized discussions where people can talk about what they personally believe, their perspective, what they think happened? Isn't that the intrigue when it comes to true crime niche? Isn't that what sparks our interest and gets us talking? We're interested in a case, we hop on in and we look at all of the evidence, right? And then we try to draw our own conclusions on what happened beyond the evidence. That's the fun in it. Oh, you believe this? Nah, I don't know about that. I believe this. This is why I believe that. It's conversation, or at least it used to be conversation. No longer are you allowed to have a conversation when it comes to true crime on social media. Why? What happened to civilized discussions? What happened to, oh, you can't talk about that because that's not what this person says and this person said? Listen, nobody knows 100% of any story. Okay? Everybody can have the same facts and draw different conclusions to what they believe the story is. There is nobody that is right. And so to sit there, and this woman sat up on this panel and stated that, she's been in the Gypsy Rose niche for a few years. And she used to be able to hop on panels and have civilized discussions, and she used to love it. Now, listen, we're adults. And as adults, I feel like it's harder to find friendships out in public in real life, right? We all have busy lives, whether it be you have children at home and so you're kind of stuck home more, or you have a job that's just so demanding you can't get away and you don't get enough time to be able to go out and have a personal life or a social life. And so for a lot of us adults who run busy lives, social media is an outlet, right? It's where we can go and join like-minded people and have civilized discussions. That's the joy of it. But not anymore. And I kind of agree with her. She said that now all of a sudden she feels like she'll hop up on panels, and the second she gives her opinion, that she gets attacked, or she feels like she's being attacked, or people will go in and attack her and attack messages and go into her messages and be threatening and all of that. Or you can't think this because this creator said. Listen, the fact that people can't just go on panels about true crime cases and have discussions about what they do or don't think and what they do or don't believe and not feel like they're under attack. The fact that they can't do that is absolutely wild to me. There is nobody that knows this case better than anybody else, knows the facts, knows the true story. Like, what is the truth? The truth of any case is really just a majority of speculation, right? It's a majority of opinion. Here is the evidence, here are the facts. What do we believe actually happened? Right? Fill in the gaps with your opinions and your speculations and your support for the evidence. But it doesn't make the story that any one person creates, it doesn't make that the truth. And so to sit there and feel like you can no longer just have fun, civilized discussions, and that you need to fear making a statement or giving your opinion is so toxic. It's absolutely toxic. My heart went out to her because she's been up on my panels, and I've seen her on other panels, and I've joined other panels that this creator was on. And she's right, though. Just because you believe something and I believe differently doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong. And it used to be discussion. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned debating, right? Civilized debating. This is why I believe that. Well, let me tell you why I believe it this way. That was the joy of it. That was the intrigue. Why are people feeling the need to be afraid to go out and just debate people or speak? Like, if I make a statement or I tell you what I believe, you're going to come after me. You're going to kick me off the panel. Oh, no, that's not what happened. Get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. Get off the panel. Go find somewhere else to go. What is up with that behavior? You see, I think that if a person who covers a case, especially larger creators, let's all be real. As larger creators, we tend to draw the groups in, right? So these smaller creators that don't go live, they tend to come to our panels, the ones that host lives. And I am not going to kick somebody off my panel because they believe something different than me. Or I'm not going to tell somebody they're wrong because their opinion is different than mine. And the fact that people are afraid is just, I just don't understand. Why can't we all just sit and have a discussion? This is what I believe. I'm going to tell you why I believe it. Now tell me what you believe. That's, I never go into a case thinking I know everything. You can't really understand a case in its entirety unless you watch all views, right? People who think differently than you, people who have this perspective, people who have that. You have to be able to see it from every angle in order to really come up with a fair opinion. on a case. Not just watch one person because one person is solely the know-it-all of everything, and their opinion is fact. And that's just, where did that come from? Where did that culture come from? And why are we allowing our peers to be afraid to speak about a case? It's a little bit different here on YouTube. Facebook, they can get a little harsh, because then you got TikTok over there that's like, whoa, put a white jacket on it, strap it up, because that's crazy, right? I was listening to this girl talk about how she was even afraid that tomorrow or this morning that there were going to be screen recordings of her being on the live talking about how she's afraid to go onto panels and speak freely about what her opinions are on a case. And that just, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for her. Nobody should be afraid ever to give their opinion. Nobody owns a case. Nobody owns the content surrounding the case. No, but it's just a fear. Like, people are afraid. What is happening? Like, listen, look at this mouth. This mouth ain't afraid to say nothing to nobody at any time. If I got an opinion, I'm going to let y'all know it. Why is that a problem? I don't understand why everybody on TikTok and the Gypsy Rose community has got to think, in sync. Everyone's got to believe the same thing. Because where did that come from? When I first got into the Gypsy Rose niche, the conversations were amazing. I mean, y'all have seen me. We have pulled some crazy stunts, like, really going into deep dives, having conversations, disagreeing, agreeing to disagree, but fear that people are going to go after and attack somebody for a difference of opinion. Like, we're grown-ass adults, guys. What is happening? All over some Gypsy Rose? Listen, you want to know the facts of the case? She killed her mother, period, point blank. Like, I just don't understand why people can't have a debate, can't give an opinion, and feel like they are backed in a corner to support one narrative that's being pushed and can't have a difference of opinion. That's what makes us all unique. That's what really is the best part about true crime is, oh man, you know what? I never thought of that. I'm so glad you brought that up. I never thought of it that way. I never go in saying, hey, you know what? I feel this way and I can never change my mind, because what does that even mean? If you're not open to finding out a truth in a situation, and let's be real, again, truth is to each his own. We never know what really truly happened. So the truth people are talking about, again, are just perspectives and speculation. What is the truth? Well, we have facts and evidence, and then the rest is all just opinion. So what is any truth, right? You're making it not fun. You're making people not want to go up and have conversations. And you're making people not want to talk about it, and fearing that they're going to be doxxed, or that armies are going to come after them and quiet them and silence them because they're not thinking the way so-and-so is thinking, or, you didn't let me up on a panel, because it's getting so frustrating. And I'm not even going to lie. Now, I've been on YouTube a while, guys, but I even see it happening over here on YouTube. I see it on Facebook. Again, never as bad as the ward over there on TikTok. But can we stop doing that? Can we allow people to have opinions? Can we not have to make everybody think that I'm smarter than you and you're smarter than this one? And, don't you dare tell me, people, what you really think, because I'm going to come after you. Anybody can always come to me with any opinion you want. We can have a discussion. I don't understand why everyone doesn't think like that. Like, are we trying to scare people? Are we trying to intimidate them? Or are we trying to enjoy a niche that we built or that the people before us talking about this case have built? Like, this is one of the reasons I've stepped back. And so when I heard that young girl on the panel last night, I resonated with it. I felt it. Okay. Even as a larger creator, I felt it. Nobody should feel like they're being attacked, period, point blank. So if we can all just go back to being civilized human beings, civilized adults, where we can have honest, good, fun debates and honest, good, fun discussions, and stop the doxing and stop sending armies out and stop the shit talking, because let me tell you something, there ain't nobody giving a crap about anybody else. To each his own. Like, why you care that much? Again, it's social media. It's wild. I just don't understand. So that is Ivy Rose Nose's thought for the day. Y'all got to get me to stop thinking, because y'all, this brain and then this mouth and then bam. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have you noticed the uptick in the TikTok uptick, the uptick in, just threat and violence in panel discussions when it comes to not even just Gypsy Rose? I see it most in that ward, but I've seen it in other wards along the insane asylum out there. I've seen it in Rebecca Parks. That was a biggie, right? I've seen people really going at people. You're wrong. This is right. I know you get off here. You can't talk like that. Who are you to have an opinion? Like, I really have seen it everywhere, more in the ward. But so let me know, have you taken a step back from true crime? Are you afraid, or do you no longer go up on panels to speak because you're afraid of what their reaction to you is? Let me know in the comments. How are we going to stop it? Let's put an end to this. Let's all just be civilized adults and learn how to play in a sandbox together. I'm just saying, guys. Again, let me know what you guys think. I'm Ivy Rose Nose. There's that.